What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be telling a story that I think is really interesting and a warning of what not to do when you're shredding, whether you're shredding for competition or if you're just trying to get pretty lean, decently lean for, vacation, whatever. It doesn't matter. So before that, I'm going to run a couple clips here. Everyone was making fun of my tan line, and I had been out a couple days and I was trying to get, a little bit of color, and I wouldn't get burnt or anything. So the other day, I was like, I'm going to be outside for a while. I'm going to take my shirt off and make sure I don't get too burnt. And I totally did not catch how burnt I was really getting. So I'm going to run a couple clips. The tan line is going to be fixed momentarily, or it'll be fixed, for a little while. But I got so burnt the other day. So I'll run that clip right here. And then today I just trained legs. That's why my hair is kind of crazy. I was super sweaty, and let me tell you, when I was laying down on the leg press, my back was on fire from how burnt it was. So that was not great, because you're kind of preventing your back from sliding up the leg press. If you have enough weight on, you'll slide up. You got to hold yourself down. So I was kind of sliding on my sunburn the whole time, so that wasn't great, but you got to get it done. So we did it, and I'm happy to say it's behind me. So by the time my next leg day's up, we're not gonna have to worry about it. Whew. So the main point of this video: what not to do when you're cutting. I'm going to tell you the story of when I was cutting for Teen Nationals, and I hope you guys stick around for this because it is an interesting story and there's a lot to learn from it, and it is kind of crazy. So we're going to get into it. I don't want to drag it out too long, but guys, let me tell you something. The first two competitions I did, I was with my first bodybuilding coach, and I learned a lot from her, but there were some things that weren't necessarily tailored to my body type, and the biggest thing was the diet. So for you guys that know, I have an extremely fast metabolism. I can't be eating like a bikini girl competitor when I diet. It is not good. And that's what I was doing for these two shows. Now, little did I know back then, and then when Teen Nationals rolled around, is that I should not have been doing those kind of diets like at all. And I went into my Teen Nationals prep doing kind of the same thing, and let me tell you what that is. I increased the cardio because I had heard some things that were not necessarily true, and I was like, oh, more cardio the better. Not true for my body type. And this is what I was doing. I was doing 45 minutes fasted cardio in the morning on the stair stepper on level 8 speed. Okay. Now, this is after I had already been dieting, already super depleted. I can shred without any cardio. That's what I know now. But this is what I was doing. 45 minutes in the morning, right? And then I would have my stupidly small meals for the day. And then at night, I would do another 45 minutes cardio on the stair stepper on level 8. And for you guys that know, been on a treadmill, been on stair stepper, level 8 is pretty quick. I would have my hoodie on, I'd have my hood up, I would never use my hands, because that actually does make a big difference. Hopefully you guys can see me good. Is this like... Alright, hopefully you guys can see me good. I couldn't tell if the camera was getting dark. That would suck if this whole video was dark. But anyways. Alright, so what's my diet like? Well, first of all, I decided 5 weeks out from Teen Nationals that I was going to do it. So I had 5 weeks to cut. So I thought I had to go, more intense, which is true when you start 5 weeks out, but not as intense as I went. So immediately, okay, and guys, another thing, I did not cheat one time on this diet. The first two shows I did, I cheated maybe 4 or 5 times, and I'm not talking about like I just got cheeseburgers and stuff. To me, cheating is like I had a tablespoon of peanut butter. So there was absolutely zero cheating. I would not let myself have one chocolate chip. I would not let myself have one grape. Like, it was just, wasn't in my head. Now, I'm training super hard every day still. I started off with just chicken, rice, broccoli, or another kind of vegetable. In the mornings, it was like, what was it? Half a cup of oatmeal, basically plain oatmeal, and egg whites. And that's what I was doing. I was cutting really fast. I'm gonna be rolling clips of my shred during this video. So this was way too much for me. Way too much, too intense with the cut. My diet was, I had less carbs than all of the YouTubers I ever saw, okay? That have way slower metabolisms than me too, okay? So this is just compounding of how bad it was. I had a smaller diet than all the YouTubers I've ever seen with a slower metabolism, and I was doing more than double the cardio that they were doing. So this was insane. I had so little energy. I felt absolutely horrible during the day, and I still had to work. Luckily, it wasn't a super heavy physical labor job. But anyways, I was just not there mentally. I just felt absolutely horrible. It was just really miserable. Until I talked to this one guy, and this was about a week out. So I had been doing this. I had already been trying like 0 carbs, and I was talking to this guy, and he said he'd helped people with their prep before, and he said, and what he was saying was, he was like, oh my gosh, you look like in your face, you just look super depleted. So like your bones will show when you get super lean, and you'll see this bone and this bone your cheeks will sink in right here when you get super lean. He was seeing that, and he's like, what in the world is going on? And I told him about my diet, and he's like, oh my gosh. And he's like, because he'd seen me at the gym for like years, and he was like year round, I'm lean. And then he heard my diet, because he knew I'd kind of like eat a lot of food, and he heard about it, and he's like, oh my gosh. And he's like, that's way too little carbs, that's way too little fat. And he's like, you're not doing any cardio, right? And then I told him I'm doing like the most cardio he's ever heard of. And he was like, oh my gosh. And he's like, you're literally like killing yourself. Like, he literally verbatim said, like, your body is literally dying right now. And it was true, because I mean, of how I felt, it was really bad. It's like, people with my body type, it does not take as much as what most people you'll see on YouTube doing to shred. So and he was like, oh my gosh. And he was like, go home and eat some more carbs, get some more oatmeal, get some sweet potato, eat some more rice. And that was a game changer, because even though that prep destroyed all of my muscle mass, I had so much more mass than all these guys in the off season, all the physique guys and all the classic guys at Teen Nationals that year in 2018. I would have wiped the floor with all of them. Luckily, I won classic, but I didn't do as good in men's physique. I would have completely wiped them out if I kept my size and cut properly. So, because I'm looking at these guys, they have almost the same mass as me, and I look at their Instagram, and I'm like, what in the heck happened? I have 30 more pounds of muscle, 25 more pounds than these dudes in the off season, and I'm leaner, and they're rolling up looking almost the same as me. So it was crazy, and this is gonna be crazy, you guys. I hope you're still watching, because I'm gonna show you how much mass I lost. This is crazy, you guys. I absolutely destroyed all of that. What I would have it would have been lights out, and I destroyed that whole aspect of my physique that would have just shut the show down. I'm gonna show you guys a picture of my back right now, one day out, okay, when I'm depleted, and I'm actually supposed to be getting fuller at this point. If you're one day out, you're supposed to be getting fuller little by little, right? Reincorporating carbs and whatnot. This is my back one day out, okay? Now I'm gonna show you 3 days after the show, when I literally stuffed my face with every single thing I saw. I did the 10,000 calorie challenge, not knowingly, okay? I did it twice. The next 2 days right after the show, I did it twice. I think I had 21,000 calories in 48 hours after that show. That's not what you should do. That's not what you should do. I was just a kid back then, so give me a break. But I'll just tell you what I ate, because it's kind of interesting. Right after the show, I got 2 double wrapped Chipotle burritos, which was like 2,600 calories, and then an 1,100 calorie pint of peanut butter ice cream. Within like 30 minutes, I ate all that. So we're looking at 3,700 calories. Also, I think I had like a soda, maybe a refill on that sucker. So maybe like 4,000 calories in 30 minutes. And then literally 45 minutes after that, I was hungry again. So I went down. I was staying in an Airbnb in Pittsburgh. I went down to a local, like, little corner store, little grocery deal, and got another. I got like half a dozen donuts, got an ice cream bar, got cookies, this, that, and the other. Had another like 2,500 calories 45 minutes later. So I already had 6,500 calories. We're talking like less than 2 hours after the show end. And then in the morning, I'm still waking up in the middle of the night. For you guys that don't know, severe hunger, it'll literally wake you up in the middle of the night. And you'll be like, I have to eat something. I can't tell you how many times on that prep, multiple times a night, I wake up, my stomach is literally hurting, like not like a little tummy ache, like that sucker was screaming at me for some food, and I see why now. And anyways, it was crazy. I was like, I just want peanut butter. Like, my body knew, you just need the densest, fattiest thing right now, and I crave peanut butter. Like, it was insane. Anyways, the next morning, after I just had that 6,500 calories within like 2 hours, I walked to Dunkin' Donuts, because it was kind of cool. You could kind of walk everywhere in that little city. I walked to Dunkin' Donuts, and I literally got 2 breakfast sandwiches. Maybe they were like 700 calories a piece. They're pretty hefty, bigger than I thought they'd be, and bigger than last time. So yeah, next morning, got 2 sandwiches, 1,400 calories right there, and I got a dozen donuts, which I don't know how many calories that is. While I was in there, I ate half a dozen donuts and my 2 sandwiches, brought the rest of the donuts back to the Airbnb. I didn't know this, but it was a split Airbnb, so like I had people in my same apartment. It was like a 2-bed apartment, and I had 1 bed, or 2 bed, 2 bath, and then I had 1 bed and 1 bath. But I didn't know we're sharing the kitchen and everything. But when I got there, so a couple awkward situations. But anyways, I just brought the rest of the donuts back to those guys, and so it was insane. And then, that next day, so same day with Dunkin' Donuts, go to the airport, starving again, and it's crazy because your body does not need the food, especially on what you can see it can survive on, but you just keep eating, you just keep doing it. And I get there, I go to Chick-fil-A, I get like 3 sandwiches. I also had a bunch of food extra that I brought with me for the prep, so I had like extra chicken with me. I got extra sauce. I was eating 3 sandwiches, using the extra sauce for my other chicken that I brought from the apartment. And then I went to Cinnabon place, and I was like, well, I don't want only 1 Cinnabon, because I'm not crazy. I want at least 2 or 3. But then I realized, oh man, you can't get 2 or 3. You can get them single, but I always like to get a deal. And I was like, oh, it's like the same price if you got 3 hot ones than if you just get a 6-pack, and they're not necessarily hot, but it's still 6 for the same price of 3, but they're probably not as good. I'll just get the 6-pack anyway. So that was my thought process. I had 2 of those, which, for you guys that know, those are like almost 1,000 calories of roll. So it was just like absolutely insane. And now, you would expect my physique to spill over. But instead I looked 10 times better than I did on stage. So that was an absolutely like huge indicator of like how little I was eating. Because guys, look at my back 3 days after the show, and I'll put it right here. That's absolutely insane that it could look that much better. And let me tell you this, I didn't even do a full back workout. I did like I don't think it was even back day, but I was like, oh, let me get a couple pictures of how I'm looking post show, whatever. So I did like a few sets of something. Okay, so that's not even with the full back pump, and I look literally 10 times better than I did on stage. Like, let me put these pictures next to each other right here. Like, that's crazy, guys. You need to pay attention and not get on a cookie cutter diet, because the people that I had that were helping me to begin with, and my memories from the last shows that I was going to try to do, was absolutely the wrong move. You guys need to figure out, and I recommend doing smaller little cuts before your show, just to kind of see what your body responds to. And, you know, your first show is not going to be perfect, of course. It's hard to nail your shred on your first show, so if you're thinking about that, just like take it easy. And if you're trying to cut for vacation or something, don't do it super aggressive, because you will lose muscle mass. Now, any kind of decent cut, you're going to lose a little mass, but you do not need to lose like 30 pounds like I did. Okay, so a lot of people see me and they're like, you can step on stage right now. Not necessarily true, but you get what I'm saying. I'm at the point where it wouldn't be absolutely insane if I did. And for me to be at that place and then to lose another 30 pounds is not what you want. It is not good at all. So anyways, guys, if you learned anything, just, you need to learn your body. Don't go too crazy with it. You hear these people that say, oh, more cardio the better, the less food you eat the better, and they say like the more you suffer the better you'll look, and that's not necessarily true. Now, I have nothing about working hard and suffering to you know, get to the place where you want to be. You have to do that, and nothing great comes doing something easy. Obviously, you guys know that, but this is a very meticulous thing, and your body is complicated, and don't let that scare you. But it's not the kind of thing that's just black and white. And I hope for you guys that listen to this, when you're doing a little shred year round, you know, it's not a big deal. It's not going to be super complicated. You'll see, you lower your calories little by little, you increase your cardio little by little, and you're going to get leaner, and that's great. But you know, that is still good for, I'm sure, for some of you guys, because you don't want to go crazy with it. Trust me. And especially for the guys competing that have that super fast metabolism, do not get on a cookie cutter diet. If someone is telling you to do some insane amount of cardio, eat some insanely small amount of food, carbs and fat, just definitely watch it. And if you know, if you don't like what you're seeing, definitely make some adjustments. Don't start a show 5 weeks out, right? Give yourself a little bit more time so you can ease into it. And yeah, so that's the video, guys. They said my body was literally, he said my body was literally dying. And for you guys that don't know, that's actually not uncommon for people that get extremely low percentage body fat. It's not sustainable. You literally can't live like that. So when you see these bodybuilders that are extremely lean, they literally can't be like that for a couple weeks or a week. Like, it's literally, like, their bodies are literally in panic mode thinking they're dying. So anyways, that was like insane to hear. I was telling my mom that. She was like practically in tears because she saw how much I was suffering with this diet. And oh my gosh, the next day, and I just started adding a little bit of oatmeal with like half a tablespoon of honey, which I could have did a lot more than that. Now that I see I can eat 20,000 calories and look better than I did on stage, anyways, it was the best thing ever. Like having a little more oatmeal, having an extra egg or something, like it was awesome. So man, like that could have been really bad, because I was gonna keep doing that diet and that cardio, and he's told me stop doing cardio. And it's weird for me, because when I lock onto a plan, into a goal, I'm not gonna change. I'm not gonna stop doing or keep doing what I decided not to or to do. So it was kind of hard, but I was like, it made sense, and it definitely felt right to take it easy. So anyways, guys, that was crazy. If you see me look 100 times better on stage next time, don't think it's because I loaded up on PEDs or something. It's because I know how to cut now. So you know, I know people are gonna see the super sharp difference, but anyways, you know, I just said what it's gonna be. And we know how to cut now. This car behind me, that van that you can see, it just ran into a fence. It was kind of funny. But anyways, I'm just excited, okay? So, goodness gracious, it's gonna be good. I'm gonna look like a new man on stage next time. I'm not gonna look like this little child, because that's how I looked at Teen Nationals, if we're being honest. I was extremely small, and oh my gosh, it's the worst. So anyways, I just ate a Popeye's chicken sandwich, so I'm feeling pretty good. I also have some leftover Qdoba here. I hope you enjoyed the video. Definitely share this with people if you know they're competing soon and they don't know a lot. Share the video. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.